Hello and welcome to Quick Test Tuesdays here on the Sparkling Autos YouTube channel. Today I'm going to take a look at a sometimes controversial product, traffic film removers, or TFRs. Some people are of the impression that these are just cheap, nasty chemicals only used by the roadside scratch and shine industry, but in my opinion everyone should have some in their arsenal. Take a look at this Honda Civic for example. Now, this car hasn't been washed since early autumn and to the best of my knowledge has zero protection on its blue paintwork. Now that's 4 to 5 months of winter road grime, salt, roadwork and farm splatter and anything else you can imagine. You mix all that together with months of rain, sunshine, ice and snow and you end up with a thick, almost impenetrable layer of what we know as traffic film. Now you don't need me to explain, picture tells 1,000 words and these pictures are just screaming pure filth. Now in this particular case, time was very much a factor. I had about 30 minutes before it got dark, not to mention the black rain clouds closing in. Experience has taught me in these conditions to either go in hard or don't go in at all. There's no point fanning around with snow foams or citrus pre-wash, fantastic as some of them might be, when you just need to get the job done and get it done quickly. Now that that's the premise for this video explained, I'll let you see the passenger side and we'll move on to the product in question. As for which TFR I'm going to use in the video, well that's from a local brand that you've seen on the channel quite a few times, A-Kem Automotive, and this is Articulate. So Articulate is a non-caustic TFR and pre-wash, and that's very important to highlight because a lot of TFR products, which is where they get their bad reputation from, they tend to be caustic, they have a dulling effect on some of your chrome trims and plastic trims, and generally speaking they can be somewhat unsafe to use on a regular basis. But the very fact that this one is indeed non-caustic means you can use it over the entire car and you don't need to be careful where you're spraying it, as basically any of your plastic or chrome trims or even your rubber seals should be absolutely safe. That being said, common sense still does have to apply, and regardless of whether it's caustic or non-caustic, you still don't want to leave it to dry on the vehicle as you wouldn't with any other pre-wash product. You'll also notice it has a phenomenal dilution ratio of up to 1 to 80. However, given the state this car's in, we're going to go in at 1 to 20 today, as like I said, I don't have any time to waste. So without further ado, let's crack on. Now originally I was just going to do a 50-50 in the back of the car, however it did start raining by the time I got round to the other side, which brought a swift end to that plan, so all I've done is coated the entire lower half of the car and we'll give it a few minutes to dwell before we rinse it off. There we go then, it's as simple as that. Now whilst that's dwelling, I'm going to take a couple of minutes to show you the importance of reading the label on a bottle. So this is actually footage from a couple of months ago when I first went to test this product, and you'll notice the first mistake straight away here. I mixed up 50ml of product to a 5 litre total solution, which is actually 100 to 1, which isn't even close to what I was going for. I was going for 50 to 1, not sure what happened with the maths. So I've sprayed an X onto the car, left it to dwell for 5 minutes, hoping to see a nice clean X. However, there's virtually nothing happened. And that's when I realised my mistake. It wasn't just the dilutions. If we take a look backwards, you'll see exactly what I done wrong. Has anyone spotted it yet? Take a closer look at the bottle, and you'll see that it's not even Articulate. It's Clean's acid-free wheel cleaner. Now that's a ready-to-use wheel cleaner which can be diluted 1 to 3, and I diluted it at 1 to 100. It was never going to do anything. So this time then, from the proper bottle, using 100ml of product, which makes a 50 to 1 solution, and then we'll see what it's like on the back end of the Mini. Now as you can see here from the way the dirt has dried in, unlike the Honda, the Mini does actually have some protection on it, so that's why we're going in with a weaker solution on this one, just to give you a quick demonstration of just how powerful this product can be, even at a 2% dilution. So once again, just give it 5 minutes to dwell and then went over and rinsed it off thoroughly with the Ava P80 Master pressure washer. Now I do know that some people can still be skeptical about using a TFR as a regular maintenance product, but if you consider that I diluted this at 2%, so 100ml of product to make a 5 litre solution cost 40 pence, and just think how many cars you could pre-wash with a 5 litre solution. But now you've seen the importance of reading labels, it's time to get back to the Honda and get the product off it. So the product's been dwelling now for 3 to 4 minutes, so I'm going to take a walk around the car and just look and see exactly what it's doing. Now, as I said earlier, with most pre-wash products, you wouldn't really want to leave them to dwell more than 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes at a push, but if you did want to extend the dwell time of this one, A-Kem do recommend applying their ultra foam over the top of it. But of course today, as I said earlier, I didn't have time for any of that. This was just a quick spray some product onto the car, get it rinsed off and see how much of this dirt it removes. Back once again with the P80 Master, and I really am genuinely very impressed with this machine so far. I'm looking forward to getting the full review done on it. I have been working on it over the past couple of months, but given the type of product it is, I don't just want to do a quick review on something like this. I don't think that would be fair on the brand, and more importantly, I don't think that would be fair on any consumers who are looking for some genuine, honest information on whether or not it's a good purchase. So it is coming, but so far I'm very impressed with it. And speaking of being impressed, let's get the TFR removed and seeing if it's just as impressive as a heavy duty cleaner as it was as a light maintenance product on the back of the Mini. Certainly seems to have done a very good job at the back of the car, and anybody with a small hatchback knows just how dirty the back of a car can indeed get. Wheels up next, and do remember here that there have been no other products used, no other wheel cleaners or anything else. This is purely just the TFR sprayed over the entire lower half of the car. And I think it's safe to say it's done a very good job there as well. And again here though, regardless of whether the product is caustic or not, you still want to make sure you do thoroughly rinse every single bit of it out. And for those filthy doors then, I've switched the Ava adjustable lance back to the narrow setting. This just gives me a little bit of extra kick for removing that heavy traffic film. And if you look at the top of the door, you'll see the only thing this hasn't really removed is a little tar spot. Well, a fairly big tar spot to be fair. But then again, would you really want to be using a regular pre-wash chemical that's strong enough to remove tar? I'm not sure I would, to be honest. Onto the filthy rear doors now, and as expected, getting exactly the same results. But I think that's enough talking from me for a minute or so. You don't need me to tell you how good a job something's doing when you can actually see the results for yourself. So I'll stop talking now, get the rest of this rinsed off, and then we'll go round and take one final look at it. So now that it's all rinsed off, you can see the sunlight's starting to go down and it's actually starting to rain. Now I've spent about 15, maybe 20 minutes tops here on this one. And all I've done is taken a car that has no protection on it whatsoever, hasn't been washed for 4 to 5 months, sprayed it with some TFR, left it to dwell for less than 5 minutes and thoroughly rinsed it off. And as you can see here, it's made one heck of a difference. Now is this going to change everyone's mind around whether or not they should use a TFR? Well no, of course not, and I wouldn't expect it to. But I've been using this stuff for a couple of years now, and I have absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. I've never seen any staining on any of my plastics from it, and it's always just been a good, reliable cleaner product. Certainly my go-to when a car's in this condition. Now the car will be back on the channel for a proper clean very soon, but as it's one of my neighbour's cars, in fact it's the first car I see when I open my window, I just wanted to take the rough off it. And now that Articulate has done just that, it only really leaves one question. Well, to be perfectly honest, this one was never really in any doubt. As a matter of fact, this is the second 5 litre container I've bought, and it certainly will not be the last. When it comes to washing a filthy car, or a detailing disaster as some people like to call, I always go straight to this one as I know it's going to get the job done. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I have time for in this one. As always, if you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care.